brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Indeed, all thanks belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All praise is due to Him that He has blessed us with being lovers of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, being lovers of Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam, being those who have been invited to commemorate and mourn the night of the Arbaeen of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain alayhi salam. And as we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we also need to thank another group of people. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Anishkur li wa liwalidayk. Thank me and thank your parents. Had it not been Allah's mercy on one hand, had it not been our parents who would have taught us the love of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, we would not have been here. It's our parents who share in that moving the light of the love of the Ahlul Bayt forward, and it is our responsibility as we become parents to then pass on that love of the Ahlul Bayt into our children. Inshallah ta'ala, we ask Allah by the love of Imam al-Hussain to give us the capacity, the tawfiq, the success to be able to transfer the love of Imam al-Hussain and the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam and the Holy Quran into the hearts and minds and souls of our children. Inshallah, let's pray to Allah with the barakat of the salawat on Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I would like to also thank Brother Amin, Dr. Amin, for his presentation. Indeed, it's a very nice lead into our discussion today. It actually makes my job slightly easier, as the education topic and the title of the 3 nights that we have been looking at. Yesterday we had an opportunity to look at what education, what knowledge is to begin with. And we actually said that the whole purpose of the movement of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain, that we actually recite in the ziyarah of Al-Arbaeen, that Imam al-Hussain, you sacrificed your life to save the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You actually sacrificed all what you had for one major purpose. That was لِيَسْتَنْقِذَ عِبَادَكَ مِنَ الْجَهَالَةِ وَحَيْرَةِ الضَّلَالَةِ. That you sacrificed all what you had to the last drop of the blood in your body to save humanity, save humankind, save the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from 2 things. Number 1, from jahala, from ignorance, and from hayratil dhalala, from the confusion that is caused by deviation. Yesterday we talked about jahala, and we had an opportunity to talk about ignorance. And ignorance is that thing, that lack of knowledge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like at all. Human beings, when they do not seek knowledge, they are not connecting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala condemn out of all the people, especially the Jahiliyyah, the period that was before Rasulullah's bi'athah, the proclamation of the prophethood of Rasulullah? That period of history, there was Jahiliyyah in other parts of the world, but why was there Jahiliyyah in the Arabian Peninsula so severe? You know what? One of the main criterions to measure knowledge, to measure ignorance, is in the capacity of a country, of a culture, of a people to access knowledge. Now today our discussion is based on looking at the Quran as a book and a secret, as a source of all knowledge. Inshallah, today I will bring in few verses of the Quran and also a few ahadith to move our discussion forward, and inshallah we will reach the definition or the secret of what Islam looks at in terms of knowledge. Let's begin with the bi'athah, the proclamation of Rasulullah. What is the very first word revealed to the Holy Prophet by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We're talking about a community that has the tools to access knowledge. The very first verse of the Holy Quran says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ. Read, O Prophet. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. Read in the name or by the name of your Lord who created. That's the first surah that was revealed to the Holy Prophet, and the first word of that first surah is read. Reading. Very important. The very first tool for human beings to access knowledge is reading. And guess what? Move forward. The second surah of the Holy Quran, not in terms of the sequence of the surahs in the Holy Quran as it's published today, not looking at Surah Al-Fatiha, Surah Baqarah, Surah Al Imran, not like that, but in the sequence of their revelation. The first surah that was revealed was Surah Al-Alaq, Iqra, Bismi Rabbika alladhi khalaq. The second surah, based on most commentators, they say the second surah of the Holy Quran after Surah Alaq that was revealed was Surah Al-Qalam. Noon وَالْقَلَمِ وَمَا يَسْطُرُونَ. Noon, by the pen and what they write with it. What is the pen a secret of, a symbol of? Writing. First surah, first word talks about reading. Second surah, first word talks about writing. Subhanallah. The two main methods, the main tools to access knowledge are the first two tools that Allah is mentioning as He's revealing the Quran and the Holy Prophet. Iqra, Noon wal Qalam, wa ma yasturun. Very important messages here. What does reading and writing look like? Today they have one word for it: literacy. The ability to read and write is called literacy. When Rasulullah established the Islamic government in Medina, after the Battle of Badr, there were people who were captured from the prisoners of war from the Meccan side. Now, Rasulullah is the leader. Rasulullah is also the teacher. Okay? Rasulullah, he actually saw that the progress of the Islamic government, the progress of the Islamic society was based on education. And that is when these people were captured that were Meccans and knew literacy, they knew how to read and write Arabic, most Muslims in Medina did not know how to read and write. As a matter of fact, in the whole of Arabia, the moment Rasulullah was proclaimed the Prophet, at the time of his bi'tha, only 17 people in the whole of Arabian Peninsula knew how to read and write. Only 17 people. Imagine a society that has this small amount of people who know how to read and write. The very first thing Rasulullah said, those who have been captured as prisoners, they will be set free if they teach 10 Muslims to read and write. Subhanallah. Reading and writing. This tells us something. Muslims should be the best at reading and writing. The Quran and its spirit is unlocking the potential of the human capacity to learn and access knowledge by having them pay attention to reading and writing. The best authors should be Muslim. The best writers should be Muslim if we're to follow the message of the Holy Quran. 10 Muslims taught how to read and write, the Holy Prophet would let that prisoner go, free. Now, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. How many different roles can you imagine for him? One is he is the Prophet of Allah, right? One is he is the leader of the Ummah. One is he is a father. One is he is a husband. One is he is a son. One is he is a father-in-law. One is he is a companion. And so on, keep going. Out of all of these roles, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is narrated to have said this, that in my role as the Prophet of Allah, he says, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ مُعَلِّمًا. I have been sent by Allah, I have been proclaimed as a Prophet by Allah for one thing, to be a muallim, to be a teacher. It's very important. That word innama at the beginning makes things difficult for us. Why? Because the word innama, as the Arabian language experts will tell you, even an Arab will tell you, that word innama means only and only this, nothing else but this. Yeah, the words innama yuridullah is actually saying that Allah wants this and nothing but this, to purify the Ahlul Bayt from all types of rijs, from all types of impurities. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً. The believers are nothing but brothers and sisters amongst themselves. There is no other bond between the believers. If you all are the believers, if you're all mu'mineen, there is no bond between you. You're not even friends. You're actually brothers and sisters. Innama, that's it. Period. Rasulullah is saying here, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ مُعَلِّمًا. I have been sent for this purpose and nothing but this purpose, and that is to be a teacher. Rasulullah, you're a prophet, but I am a teacher. Rasulullah, you're a father, but I am a teacher. Rasulullah, you are a husband, but I am a teacher. That's what Rasulullah would tell us. Teaching and learning is not only restricted to the school, not only restricted to the classroom, not only restricted to a seminar hall, not only restricted to a university class. Teaching and learning in Islam is everywhere. Point number one. Very important. Education, teaching, learning, studying is not restricted to one place. We talked about this yesterday. It's not restricted to any gender. We talked about this yesterday. And as brother also reminded us, ala kulli musliman wa muslima, on every male and female. Teaching and learning is actually not restricted by time. Utlubul ilmi min al-mahdi ila al-lahd. Seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. Keep going. Muslims, knowledge and you are so intertwined that the Ma'asum says, Al-ilmu dallatul mu'min. Knowledge is a lost thing of a mu'min. Have you lost something in life before? I'm sure one thing that's commonly lost is a cell phone. Most people forget their cell phone somewhere and then they panic. Oh my God, where's my cell phone? Give me a missed call, see where can I find it, this and that. How do you feel when you lose your cell phone? Yeah? How do you feel? You feel panic, right? You feel as if I need to have my cell phone, otherwise I can't live. What about that WhatsApp message? What about that Instagram picture that's coming my way? Ya Allah, come on, help me find my cell phone. They get 10 people to ring and call their number so that they can find their cell phone, right? Cell phones. When they get lost, how stressed do we become? Allah, the Prophet, the Ma'asumeen, the Quran, they're telling us, the cell phone is one thing that is minor. You should feel about knowledge this way. Al-ilmu dallatul mu'min. The Muslim should feel, the mu'min should feel stressed when they're not getting knowledge. Actually, there are so many ahadith about knowledge, I can keep saying ahadith on and on. A day, Imam Ali alayhi salam says, a day that passes by and you have not learned something new, you are putting yourself in the position of a loser. Do we want to be losers in life? No way. We got to learn something new every single day. And to that extent that we are told a lost thing is such that wherever we find it, we grab it. A Muslim, a mu'min is supposed to seek knowledge wherever it is, even if it is with a mushrik, even if it is with a kafir, even if it is with somebody who's a munafiq. Any person, wherever you find knowledge, grab it. It's yours. You have a right over it. Brothers and sisters, show me a religion that places this much emphasis on knowledge. except Islam. And there's a secret to it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of His Asma'ul Husna is Al-Alim. He is the all-knowing. If you want to get to Al-Alim, seeking ilm is that path. If you seek knowledge on and on, over and over, deepen your knowledge, establish your connection with knowledge, Allah will open doors for you towards Himself. This is the way that the Ahlul Bayt have shown us. This is the way. إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ مُعَلِّمًا. As Rasulullah has said, I have been sent as nothing but a teacher. Very important. Now here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually tells us from the Holy Quran itself. On one hand, He shows us the tools of reading and writing as the means to access knowledge, unlock knowledge. And Rasulullah on the other side says, قَيِّدُ الْعِلْمَ بِالْكِتَابَ. Trap knowledge, hold on to knowledge by writing it down. It tells us so much about reading and writing. So brothers and sisters, your language arts grades should be the top in your class for you. If you're wanting to be a good Muslim, not only your math and science and everything should be top, but your language arts grades should be top. And this is not only in English only. Any language you learn, make sure you learn to the best. If it is Arabic, make sure you learn it very well. If it is Farsi, make sure you learn it very well. If it is Urdu, make sure you learn it very well. If it's Spanish, French, German, whatever you have. And I would add here, we owe it to the people of this land as well. If it is a Muslim with a pure Islamic spirit, we're not only learning English and French. These two are not the languages of this land. They are European languages. I'm being a bit political, but I will try and be very truthful here. The languages of this land are the languages of the First Nations. An alim, Sayyid Sa'id Akhtar Ridawi, rises from India, travels to East Africa in Kenya and Tanzania. He settles in Dar es Salaam, the capital of Tanzania. The first thing he does is he learns Kiswahili. Swahili, the language of the people of that land, Tanzania. He starts to preach Islam in the native tongue to the native people of Tanzania. He goes into the villages of Tanzania. He goes and meets the brothers and sisters from Allah's creation. Islam, is it only for us from the eastern part of the world? Or it's all for all people? He goes around, he converts and invites so many people towards Islam that today the organization that he established, the Bilal Muslim Mission of Tanzania, now has so many native Africans become Muslim Shia. That one Sayyid who rose from India, he was invited by the Urdu-speaking community of the Shias in Tanzania, but he learned the native language. Brothers and sisters, when we give the natives of this land in their own language the message of Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam, that message that shook Gandhi, that inspired him to free India from colonial attachments, wouldn't these people here, don't they have a right to hear the message of Imam al-Hussain and get attached to it in their own language? What are we doing as Muslims? As lovers of Imam al-Hussain, tonight, the night of Arbaeen, we need to reinvent ourselves. We need to feel inspired by the message of Imam al-Hussain. That message of justice, that message of anti-oppression. These people here, the First Nations, have been oppressed. Imam Hussein's message is the only message that can rid the people. لِيَسْتَنْقِذَ عِبَادَكَ مِنَ الْجَهَالَةِ وَحَيْرَةِ الضَّلَالَةِ. What are we doing? Let's review ourselves. Language is the key to knowledge. Knowledge is the key to get us out of jahala, and it is also the key to get us out of hayrat al-dhalala, confusion. What is the cause of confusion? Let's analyze it. When are you confused? When is a human being confused the most? And if you look deep down in your heart of hearts, the point that the human being is the most confused is when they are in doubt. Shak. Doubt. When doubt comes, you become confused. The human being is mutahayyir. There's hayra. There's confusion. In Islam, if you look at the Islamic education system, if you look at the ahkam that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has in place, Allah at every step of the way does not want the Muslim, does not want the mu'min to be in a state of shak, of doubt. Be it at the level of belief or at the level of practice. Let's take an example. At the level of belief, there is nobody who can make you believe that Allah is one. You have to arrive at yaqeen, conviction with your own intellect. It's not because my parents told me Allah is one. I need to believe it in my heart of hearts with my own intellectual reasoning that Allah is one. That's at one level. At the level of practice, when I have doubt, when I have shak that have I broken my wudu? Has my wudu become void? What do? Does Allah say stay in shak? Stay in doubt? No. Check back. Do you remember doing wudu and you're sure about it and now you're doubting? Then keep that state of yaqeen as it is. Keep it intact. Think that you still have your wudu and continue with it. On the other hand, if I have shak, that do I have wudu or not? Has my wudu become void or not? Look back. Do you have surety that you had wudu and you say, oh, no, I did not do wudu, but I am not sure if I have wudu right now? Then go back to your previous state of conviction and yaqeen and say, yes, I do not have wudu, I need to do wudu. There is nowhere in Islam we are told to be in shak, in doubt. It is not only not encouraged, but it is totally unacceptable for a Muslim to be in a state of shak. Now let us explain this a bit more. In the education system around us, our children, ourselves, we are always made to go in a state of shak. Question everything. Question it. Whatever you're told by your parents, question it. There's two types of shak, by the way. One is a good type of shak and doubt. The other one is an evil type. If you have shak and doubt before coming to the state of belief and yaqeen and conviction, this is a good type of shak. Because this will make you question and question and question and get to an answer to make you reach a state of belief and conviction. But once you have reached that state, and there is a shak that keeps and creeps and crawls over your yaqeen and scrapes it and degrades it and makes you come down to the level of shak again, that shak is disastrous. So that is the shak that we need to keep away from. If the shak that leads us to yaqeen, excellent. But that shak that keeps and kicks our yaqeen away, that is disastrous. Let's keep ourselves away from it. It is very important that we keep looking for the haqq, and with yaqeen and with conviction, with firm belief. And this is what Islam is expecting from us. The hayrat al-dhalala will be removed when we keep working towards getting to a state of yaqeen, inshallah ta'ala. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Now, how do we do this? Inshallah, I'll talk about this from the Quran. How do we keep ourselves on the path of yaqeen and stay away from shak? Are you all with me, inshallah? Let's hear it with the loudest of salawats, please. The very first verse that I had the honor of reciting, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us there's a group of people for whom Allah has kept signs in His creation. إِنَّ فِي اخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ لَآيَاتٍ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. This group of people is called the Ulul Albab, the people of intellect, the people of deep understanding. In simple, smart people. Allah is giving us two ways to be smart. Are you all with me, inshallah? Two ways to be smart from the Holy Quran. To be people who on one hand are knowledgeable, but their knowledge is not based on doubt, it's based on yaqeen. Allah says, these people, الَّذِينَ يَذْكُرُونَ اللَّهَ قِيَامًا وَقُعُودًا وَعَلَى جُنُوبِهِمْ. This is a group of people who are constantly connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are constantly remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether they're standing, sitting, or lying down on their sides. These people are constantly remembering Allah, either through remembering Allah in the dhikr, or through praying salat, or basically, even if you're not on a musalla, even if you're not having a tasbih in your hand, but if your heart and mind is in that direction that you have at heart what Allah wants, that state is also the state of dhikr of Allah. If I'm sleeping and I know that Allah expects me to be sleeping and resting and taking care of my body, that is the state of dhikr of Allah, because you are doing what Allah expects from you. If I am eating halal food, it is the state of dhikr of Allah, because I am actually doing what Allah expects me to do. If I am actually spending quality time with my family, with my mom and dad, with my wife and kids, it is a state of dhikr of Allah, because I am doing what Allah expects me to do. If I am studying, not only the Quran, reciting the Quran on its own is a state of dhikr of Allah, but if I am studying, I'm reading a book that is drawing me closer to the state of knowledge, to become closer to Allah, that is a state of dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. الَّذِينَ يَذْكُرُونَ اللَّهَ قِيَامًا وَقُعُودًا وَعَلَى جُنُوبِهِمْ. That's number one. They're constantly connected to Allah, the metaphysical realm. They're constantly aware of being spiritual. That's number one. Number two, وَيَتَفَكَّرُونَ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. This group of people, the smart people, the people of intellect, they're not only connected to Allah, they're not only connected to the Rasul, to the Ahl al-Bayt, to the Quran, but these people are always thinking, always pondering, always using their intellect. And unfortunately, this is one place that we as Muslims have forgotten the Quran. We don't think about things. We do not think about the khalq of Allah. Now let me just open this khalq of Allah, and inshallah I will move to the dhikr of musibah. Khalq of Allah means the creation of Allah. Muslims, the mu'min, the ulul albab, the one who is wanting to be the person of intellect, is not only connected to Allah, doing good things and always remembering Allah, but this person is thinking with regards to the creation of Allah. Point number one, everything around us is the creation of Allah. In this word, خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ, you have all of the knowledge hidden. خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. What has Allah not created? Tell me. Everything around us that exists has been created by Allah. Be it the nature around us, if you look at it, and that is your scientific areas. Be it engineering, likewise. Be it the human body, Allah has created that. Be it the human mind, Allah has created that. That is your medicine, your anatomy, your physiology, all of those sciences. Be it the human soul, Allah has created that as well. Your Hawzawi studies, your tafsir, your fiqh, your ahkam, your aqaid, your akhlaq, and all of the sciences that are taught in the Hawza are all part of يَتَفَكَّرُونَ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. All knowledge. The question is, people sometimes wonder, Is knowledge Islamic or non-Islamic? Do we have sciences that are Islamic and certain sciences and areas of knowledge that are non-Islamic? Allah says, if a science, if a knowledge base, if an area of knowledge leads you towards Allah, it is surely Islamic. If you feel inspired by looking at the structure of the molecules of a protein, and you are mesmerized by how the hemoglobin atoms, the hemoglobin molecule takes on oxygen, attaches to itself, and creates more space for the attachment of more oxygen atoms to it, and you are mesmerized by that, that is connecting you to Allah. Not only you are doing tafakkur fi khalqi samawati wal ard, you are doing dhikrullah. Right there. Right there. And that is a smart person. Ulul albab is that person. Brothers and sisters, we need to realize and go back. This is something extremely important if we claim to be preparing for the arrival of our Imam. Imam Sahib al-Amr is waiting for people to bring back tafakkur and dhikr of Allah together in knowledge. Not keep only dhikr and not keep only tafakkur of the khalq of samawati wal ard. Knowledge and connection to spirituality both go together. And when we, especially the lovers of the Ahlul Bayt, start to do this, then we can say, "Oh Mawla, oh Master, we are ready for you. Please come." And when we say Al-Ajal Mawlai, and keeping in mind when Imam appears and Imam arrives, and may Allah make us see that day in our own lives, inshallah ta'ala, He will not only boost the spirituality of the human beings, He will boost their access to the secrets of the universe. We're told ilm has 27 units. 2 units will be discovered till the time the appearance of the Imam occurs. When Imam reappears, he will open up doors to 25 other doors and units of knowledge. Right now, whatever advancement of technology and knowledge we have as human beings, it's not even the time of the reappearance of the Imam that we feel, oh mashallah, humanity has developed so much. Imagine till the time Imam comes. All of that will only be 2 out of the 27 parts of knowledge accessible to human beings. Imam, when he comes, don't be surprised if you go for vacation on Mars. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if you are teleporting. Don't be surprised. Actually, we have ulama who do something similar. It's called Tayyul Ard. They travel over earth so fast without the need for any gadgets. This is a spiritual power. When spirituality is connected to knowledge, that is when you have true technology. Right now, we have fake technology. True technology is when spirituality is connected to knowledge, and when you have access and connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His power, we're using the power given by Allah to the human beings in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is knowledge. That is true knowledge. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll talk about Muslim civilization and what happened at the peak of Muslim civilization, and how humanity now is realizing how Muslims and their civilization helped Europe come out of its dark ages and have the Renaissance. But also, we need to look back. What made the Muslims who were in the peak of Jahiliyyah become leaders of knowledge in the human society? And the secret lies in the teachings of our A'immah alayhimus salam and the Holy Quran. Inshallah, that's our discussion for tomorrow. Brothers and sisters, today we're here to remember a lady who is considered alima ghayr muallima. Ghayr muallama. A lady who is known to be a knowledgeable person without having to go to school and learn from a teacher. Rather, her teacher was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This pure lady is none other than Lady Zainab salamullahi alayha. And we remember her today, especially her words that are powerful. This shows how a powerful person, a Muslim, a mu'min needs to be when it comes to language. Lady Zainab showed her language capacity in the court of Yazid. And when Yazid was taken aback by the eloquence of Lady Zainab salamullahi alayha, and Lady Zainab totally smashed his hopes of establishing his victory over Imam al-Hussein, she openly humiliated him in his own court and said, Kid kaidak, was'a sa'yak, wa nasab juhdak. Do whatever you want to do, in short. Plan and plot and whatever you want to do. Work hard. Take all your struggles to their limit. فَوَاللَّهِ لَا تَمْحُوا ذِكْرَنَا. By Allah, you will not be able to wipe off our remembrance. And today we're here to show in practice that Yazid, with whatever he wanted to do, he will never be able to wipe off the remembrance of the Ahlul Bayt. Will never be able to wipe off the remembrance of Imam al-Hussein. Tonight, the night of Arbaeen, we gather and we remind ourselves, whatever we have today of Islam, of Iman, of goodness, of virtue in this world, is because of the sacrifice of Mawla Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. And it is our responsibility. These 40 nights, these 40 days have a purpose. That this dhikr of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, which in reality is the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, الَّذِينَ يَذْكُرُونَ اللَّهَ قِيَامًا وَقُعُودًا وَعَلَى جُنُوبِهِمْ. It includes the remembrance of the Ahlul Bayt without a shred of a doubt. We will not allow the remembrance of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam to be wiped off, to be forgotten. And here we are. We remember Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Tomorrow is the day of Arbaeen. As the historians tell us, tomorrow is the day that the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam returned back towards Medina. They left their state they were in, and they turned a new chapter in their lives, but with a new beginning. And what kind of a beginning this was? When they came to Karbala, they had their master Imam al-Hussein with them. They had Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas with them. They had Ali al-Akbar with them. They had the 18 Banu Hashim, the best of Allah's creation on earth, in akhlaq, in knowledge on earth at that time, all martyred. They had the companions of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam with them, all martyred. And now they're going back. But they now have a mission, and that is the mission that we take with us as well. As Arbaeen comes to an end, let's make sure we keep attached to the message of Imam al-Hussein. That we keep saying this and we recite this in Ziyarat al-Arbaeen. We keep reminding ourselves at the end of Ziyarat al-Arbaeen, we say, فَمَعَكُمْ مَعَكُمْ لَا مَعَ غَيْرِكُمْ. O Imam al-Hussein, 40 days have passed from Ashura. I will not forget you. And I'm actually placing my hands in your hands and repeating my bay'ah and renewing my allegiance and saying, O Mawla, I want to be with you and only with you, and not with anybody except you. That is the message of Arbaeen. That is what we need to do as we move forward. Tomorrow is a day that we are also told that Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari, the great companion of Rasulullah, the narrator of Hadith al-Kisa, arrived at the grave of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam in Karbala. We're told when Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam was martyred in Karbala, news spread to Medina and to Damascus. And when the news of the martyrdom of Abu Abdullah was mentioned and spread in Medina, Jabir, when he heard this, he told his companion Atiyah to join him to go towards Karbala to do the ziyarah of Imam al-Hussein. And we're told the first person to do the official ziyarah of Imam al-Hussein after his burial by Imam al-Sajjad was Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari on the day of Arbaeen. And how did he come for the ziyarah? Jabir is no ordinary person. Jabir is somebody who is a great companion of Rasulullah. He is somebody who has met 7 of the ma'asumeen in his life. Beginning from Rasulullah, Amirul Mu'mineen, Lady Zahra salamullahi alayha, Imam al-Hassan, Imam al-Hussain, Imam al-Sajjad, Imam al-Baqir. 7 of the ma'asumeen, half of the ma'asumeen met this person, Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari. It's a great person, a great personality. A person who narrates the Hadith al-Kisa from Lady Fatima salamullahi alayha. Imagine what feeling was Jabir in his heart when he came to the grave of Abu Abdullah. When they reached Karbala and they took a ghusl, they bathed in the water of Furat. They actually, after taking a ghusl, they went towards the grave of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain alayhi salam. Jabir could not hold himself. He could not hold back his tears. He kept crying profusely and he fell unconscious on the ground. Atiyah ran to grab some water. He sprinkled the water on the face of Jabir and he said, "Oh Jabir, wake up. Oh Jabir." Jabir came back to his senses and he started to cry out loud, "Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain." And he stood up on the grave, by the grave of Abu Abdullah. He put his hand on the grave of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain and he said, "Habibun la yujib habiba." A loved one does not respond to his beloved. And how can that be possible? That your head has been cut off and your veins have been severed. Your head is not attached to your body and your body was left on the plains of Karbala. Jabir, how can you see Imam al-Hussain in this state? Jabir, do you remember when you saw Abu Abdullah as a child? The way Rasulullah would put him on his shoulders, the way Rasulullah would carry him in his arms, the way Rasulullah would put him in the kisa, in the cloak with him. Jabir was not able to keep his patience. He could not hold back his tears. He had not even seen the martyrdom of Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam. But who is coming to visit Imam al-Hussain? This is somebody who has seen Imam al-Hussain being martyred with her own 2 eyes. As the Ziyarat al-Nahiya tells us, Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam was on the ground and Lady Zainab was by until Zainabiyah. She rose and she climbed on the hill of Zainab and she could see down towards the Maqtal. What does she see? Was Shimru jalisun ala sadri. Shimr was sitting on the chest of Imam al-Hussain. He was sharpening his knife and putting it on the neck of Imam al-Hussain. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا آل محمد أي منقلب ينقلبون.